Wait your turn. All right, let's get it on. Hello, ballers, and a brofist to you all. It's daily time. Yeah, it is. It's daily time. How is everybody? Everyone looks fucking awesome today. Hello to you all. Look at everybody there. Ah! Is it worth doing the daily every day? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's always worth doing the daily when I get to see that every single fucking day. So happy to see you. It is, of course, a normal daily today. We're not doing any themes, but tomorrow it is, of course, Drama Friday. Drama Friday tomorrow. We're going to catch up with all our WoW news today, which is kick ass. Kick ass. And then we've got big Drama Friday tomorrow to kick off the end of the week. Now, one announcement. In fact, several announcements. Yay! The good thing about the daily is I can get through the news. The news is kind of important. We're going to get through the news. The first thing is there is no web show next week. Yeah, no web show next weekend. We had to cancel it due to Mr. Ghost, lovely lady, having herself a little break because it's her birthday. So he's going to be away. But no problem. We've simply moved the web show to this weekend. Yeah, we're going to have a web show this weekend. So it's this Saturday. Usually it's next Saturday. It's going to be this Saturday. So we got a web show for you live this Saturday night, 8 PM GMT. It's about 3 hours from when the daily goes out. And we're going to be going party time. So get your bro fists, okay, and your transmogs. Get your transmogs on the site Sharpish on preachgaming.com. Submit your transmogs and get your bro fists sent in. We had a really slacky amount of bro fists last time. Sucked. I want your bro fists. If you've got a camera, take a picture. Send it me. preachgaming@gmail.com. Get it sent. I want to see it. I want to see who you people are. It's awesome. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. So we've got a lovely web show for you on Saturday. Tomorrow is Drama Friday. Everything's looking squishy. Okay? So Ghosty's going to be doing some tweeting and things. Now, I've got 3 things to tell you that happened to me today. I did live stream today. I'm sort of getting myself prepared for the big February live stream. We're going to be live streaming pretty much every single day in February for about 9 hours. It's going to be a long, long day for me, but it should be a shitload of fun. If anything is to like today is to go by, it's going to be awesome. Had so many of you here chilling with us while I just grinded a monk through Wrath of the Lich King. Worst expansion ever. Worst 5-mans ever. To actually stop myself doing the Wrath of the Lich King 5-mans, I did all the TBC 5-mans. I was like, I could do Utgard Keep, but I could also do Magister's Terrace, the Shattered Halls, the Steam Vaults, things like that. And I was like, I'm totally doing those. I'm totally doing them. Fucking awesome. It's going to be so fucking chill. I'm really looking forward to it. So, looking forward to it. Also, in February, so you guys are prepared, we're going to be playing different games as well as World of Warcraft during live stream February. One of the games that you might want to download and install if you're going to be viewing us and want to take part in live stream February is Neocron 2. Neocron 2. It's an MMO. It's free to play. It's old, so if you've got a shitty PC, you're fine. And don't play it yet. That's the only rule, right? Don't play it yet. After I cap the first character, we're going to be capping all 9 uncapped characters in February. After we cap the first one, we're going to spend a couple of days playing some Neocron 2. We're going to be leveling together, and then we're going to go kill some people and steal all their loot. It's going to be great. But you have to be part of our faction, part of all that kind of good stuff. So don't roll yet. Don't roll yet. Just get the game installed. It's free. Download it. It's all good. Potato game. It's not that bad. It actually looks pretty chill. It's all good. I wanted to tell you these stories. 3 things that happened to me today. I was really stupid in one of them. Ben was a troll in the other one. And Emma was really retarded in the other one. I was having a shave, getting myself all nice and shiny and cleaned up for you guys. So I've got to go in front of a camera, right? So I was having a shave. And Emma says to me, why don't you shave in the bedroom where the mirror is? There's no mirror in our bathroom, right? So I said, well, I don't want to get shaving foam and stuff in the bedroom, and sometimes it falls off the razor, and I don't want to go backwards and forwards. And she says, yeah, but you miss bits. You miss little bits, and it really annoys her. I say, well, sorry, you know, that's just part of going freeballing it. I'm freeballing my shaving. I'm freeballing it. I do it blind. I'm going in blind. She says, wouldn't it be amazing if phones with cameras in the front had a mirror app? Yeah. I'm so baffled by this comment. It'd be amazing if my phone had a mirror app. Yeah. You mean like a camera? I said that to her. What, just like a camera? And she looked at me as if I had literally opened a Pandora's box of knowledge. She stared at me blankly like, oh, you could do that, couldn't you? I was like, yeah, you could just turn the camera on. You don't need an app for that. She fucking looked at me completely blankly. However, she was not the only one to be completely retarded by a phone. As you know, I'm not big on my social media thing. I don't do much of the good book, and I certainly don't do much tweeting. Tweeting I actually find really insufferable in many ways. But I accept that Twitter is part of this kind of environment. I don't exactly tweet. It's not hard for me to do. I just feel I don't like it. I don't know. I'm taking a shit now. Tweeted. Here I am walking Ben. Tweet. I'm not into that kind of stuff, right? But Ghosty is. Ghosty loves that. Ghosty is the fucking tweet master. So I was, of course, if I'm going to speak to Ghost, I need to be on the throne, right? So as soon as I ascend to the throne, I decided it's time to text Ghost and see what's going on with him. And he says, oh, we need to change the web show to this Saturday. Are you okay with that? I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll change the web show. I'll check with Emma. Emma's fine. We'll do the web show. So we're doing this kind of back and forth. And then he says, dude, and he blew my mind, retweet my tweet. It was the first time I've ever looked at my phone like it was some sort of super complex machine that I have no idea how it works. He went, retweet my tweet. I went, my brain literally went, I was like, I just texted back instantly. I was like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Retweet my tweet? I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. I assume it means forward his email or forward his tweet. But he just said it so casually. Dude, just retweet my tweet and people will know. I was like, what? What is this sorcery? What magic are you speaking of, you fucking demon? I don't know what you're talking about. And he literally took the Preach Gaming info. He's like, I'll do it. I'll tweet. I just said, dude, that is not happening. I don't know what to do. I don't even want to know how to retweet a tweet. I don't care. I don't care. The fact that Twitter is on my phone, it baffles me. I don't know why it's there. It's not that I can't learn it. I just don't want to. I don't want to be that involved. Retweeting, I'm too involved with Twitter. If I know how to retweet, I know too much. And that's it. I don't want to know that much. In other news, when I did finish the stream, live streaming today, and then went off to walk Ben, give Ben his walk. He does come up exactly like 2:45 in the afternoon to let me know it's time for his walk. We went to a country park where a really nice, sweet old lady, a beautiful old lady, was throwing bread at the floor for the birds that she'd obviously prepared, right? She'd made it into like breadcrumbs and shit. So she'd spent some time at home preparing to throw this bread to the ground. And she's there, she's like, da da da, like old ladies do. Ben just walks up like a complete gangster and just eats the fuck out of everything she's thrown on the floor. And I'm going, Ben, come back. He looks at me. He's like, this is fresh bread, motherfucker. And just chomps the shit out of it. Just eats every single last fucking drop of the bastard. And then looks at her like, have you got any more? And she looked genuinely devastated. I felt really fucking bad. I'm like, Ben, come back. Stop it. She looked so upset. She'd obviously like, this is like a highlight of her day, is going feeding ducks and stuff. Ben just walked right up. Just ate everything and just looked at her blankly like, where's the rest of the bread? Come on, you got to sort me out. You got to hook a brother up, right? You've got all this bread. I know what's going on. Fun times. Let's go on with the actual news. The actual news. That was my day. That was just today. That's what happened to me today. Yeah, okay, so during the stream, this was obviously a big topic of conversation, is the director has been found for the Warcraft movie. I never really considered the movie stalled. We talked about it probably in one of the first dailies I ever did. God knows how many dailies we've done now. But I was really excited for the Warcraft movie because a lot of people seem to think it's a World of Warcraft movie. It's not. It's not based on World of Warcraft as we know it. It's based on the whole Warcraft universe, and is likely to be about some new major lore character. It's going to have some of the famous faces. Who's going to play Jaina Proudmoore? It needs to be the most uninteresting, boring actress in the world. It's got to be that chick from fucking Twilight, right? It's got to be the chick from Twilight. It's got to be the chick from Twilight. Kirsten, whatever. She's got to be Jaina Proudmoore. She's so Jaina Proudmoore it hurts. She's like, hey, don't do that. I'm going now. I can't take part in this. Oh, God, no. Kristen Stewart, right? Kristen Stewart. She's got to be. Kate Beckinsale? No way. Kate Beckinsale's not going to be doing it. Susan Boyle. Susan Boyle for Thrall? I'm up for that. Susan Boyle for Thrall. That'll be really good. That'll be really fucking good. There's a few Warcraft movies on Pornhub. Susan Boyle would make a great Thrall. I'm down with that. Bieber could be Arthas, because we know how that story ends. Success. I'm actually one of the people who doesn't actually like him. Who likes it? I think Bieber's legit, man. He's fucking awesome. But yeah, they found this wonderful director, and he's like a director, which is amazing. When Sam Raimi was attached, I was kind of like, okay, but Spider-Man 3? Really? Spider-Man 3? Evil Dead. I mean, that guy has made a career from Evil Dead. There's no doubt about that. But Evil Dead was a long time ago, man. Evil Dead was a long time ago. Yeah, exactly. Evil Dead, man. Evil Dead. Sam Raimi did Evil Dead. He did do Evil Dead, but that was a long time ago. Recent works, not so much. So the new director is like a director, which is fucking awesome. The guy who made Moon. He wrote and made Moon. Moon is a brilliant fucking film. Absolutely amazing. If you've not seen it, go and check it out. So this is actually really good news for me as a bit of a cinephile. I love my movies. To see a proper director. Because we've all seen Doom. I guarantee, who hasn't seen Doom? Let's get some ones and zeros. 1 if you've seen Doom. 0 if you haven't. That's all I want to see. Ones and zeros. Let's see some ones and zeros. 1s if you've seen Doom. 0 if you haven't seen Doom. Yeah, look, right? We've all been there. There's so many of us who've experienced The Rock and Carl Urban. It's a must-see. Oh, come on, it's a must-see. Yeah, so we've all been there. We've all had to endure that. We've had to endure that. I have seen it more than once. Somebody... This is one of the problems when you're into games, right? People who don't understand games try and, like, say, oh, he likes games... So I'm going to get him something game-related. Somebody bought me a copy of Doom on DVD. The fuck is wrong with that person? I can't even remember who it was. I remember I looked at it. I couldn't even feign happiness. I might have even just spat in their face and just spat on them. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like, oh, it's The Rock. You liked wrestling? Yeah. And you like games? Yeah. Then you will like Doom? No. No, wrong. That is fucking wrong. That is terrible. So the WoW movie is going to be live action. Someone's asking that. It's going to be a live action movie, pretty sure of that. And they've got a proper storytelling director. That's the bit that really interests me. Sam Raimi's a great director of like the silly bit of a slapstick kind of movie. This guy is straight up a storytelling kind of director, which is awesome. Really looking forward to it. It might even be quite dark and brooding. I'll be interested to see what age they go for. That's the only thing that bothers me now. I'd like to see a 15s plus or a PG at least. I want to see a good, solid, and probably quite dark storyline involved around this. Because some of the themes in World of Warcraft are really dark. Really, and in Warcraft itself are really, really dark. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm hoping it's going to be pretty cool. Who's playing Rexar? Susan Boyle. Susan Boyle's like in for like 9 of the characters. Easy. Susan Boyle's got it in the bag. No problem. So, we also got to see today what the new legendary Meta Gems. Who's seen them? Who's seen the legendary Meta Gems? I know you're out there. Susan Boyle is the new Eddie Murphy. She's playing every fucking role. Yeah, the new fucking legendary Meta Gems. There's a huge problem with these legendary Meta Gems if we're supposed to go off these data mined stats. Now, I want to point out that Ghostcrawler pointed out that the news, he actually was quite clever. He tweeted earlier in the day that there's going to be some stats data mined today. Didn't say which. He said don't trust them. They're pre-build stuff. Let's fucking pray that's the case, because the new legendary Meta Gems don't appear to be better than what's in the game now. It's possible they are. It depends on the procs. To give you an example, the Healer legendary Meta Gem is 324 intellect, and a chance on casting a helpful spell. Chance on casting, so when you cast a heal, to make your next spell cost no mana. Legendary. That's legendary. Compared to our previous legendary that literally duplicated our DPS spells. Right? That's a legendary. That's fucking legend. Yeah, clear casting. It's a clear casting Meta Gem. I'm sure that actually existed in the Burning Crusade. It sounds like a trinket, yeah. It's not amazing. What's the other one we got here? Something to gain capacitance. A 324 crit rating, not a main stat. Worth knowing, not a main stat. Chance on striking with a melee attack to gain capacitance. Don't know what that is, so we can't really comment on that one. And the other one is 324 crit rate. This is your caster one. Chance on dealing spell damage to gain 30% spell haste. Now, that is good. That is good. 30% spell haste is a lot. That is a shitload of haste. That is really really heavy. The only problem is the crit rating. I hope that gets changed. We'd like to see some main stats on there. I'd like to see intellect and stuff on there. I know secondary stats are much more powerful now, but still, it's nice to have a main stat in your helm, right? That could get nerfed, that one. That's the best one I've seen so far. The healer one, very underwhelming. And the melee one, it's the crit rating that bothers me. A lot of people don't like crit rating. A lot of melee don't like crit rating. Pretty good for warriors, depending on what capacitance does. I assume it's going to be pretty ass. Yeah, exactly. As Squavi's just said, for warriors, it's not too bad. But for other classes, crit's pretty shit. Pretty shit. So we'll see what's going on. We'll see what's going on with that. But still, not amazing. Nothing that makes me go, wow. That's what I wanted to see from the Legendary Meta Gems. Like, holy shit, that's really awesome. Perhaps because they're going to be extremely widespread. It's not going to be difficult for most raiders to pick these up. That they're not that overwhelming. It's quite possible that because everybody's going to be able to get them, that they've made them deliberately not super, super amazing. What I hope is that they're not amazing in PvP. Kind of worried about PvPers wanting 30% spell haste, right? I kind of wonder, and then having to get into raiding. Kind of watch for the feedback from the raiders on that one. I'm a little bit dubious on that one. A little bit dubious, but still, I don't know. It's not blowing my mind, but they are going to be everywhere. Let's face facts. The topic we discussed the other day, I wanted to actually get back onto this, was about rerolling, right? We were talking about sticking with the main class, and what seems to happen, and from what I can tell, I've been reading through YouTube comments and all the stuff you left me to talk about, and it seems to be that once somebody tried rerolling, that was it. They were re-rolling a lot. A hell of a lot after that. Once you actually did it the first time, you kind of went down a slippery slope of re-rolling a lot. That's what happened to me. Once you did it, you kind of carried on doing it. So the solution to not re-rolling and sticking with the main character is not to re-roll. That would be one solution. Don't do it. But that seems kind of obvious. How do I stick with the main character? Don't re-roll. Stick with it. And that doesn't help anyone whatsoever. The problem is finding a class you want to play on. To be honest, I couldn't find a significant answer. If your penchant is to re-roll to something that you feel is better, then you're going to do it. I find it really hard to stick with a main character for an extended period of time as well. I do. I kind of, for me, I kind of get comfortable to the point where I can play this class with my eyes closed. Certainly after I got like the top world records on my DK, I kind of was losing interest in my DK by that point. I was like, well, I've done as much. I've proved that I can max this class. I'm kind of done with it. As much as I love the DK, I was kind of done with it at that point. I was like, well, I've proved what I can do with it. I kind of want to try something else now. It's nice to have different things doing it all the time. For the rest of you, I don't know. I know there's a lot of people there who re-roll all the time and haven't managed to maybe max a class completely or just feel uncomfortable on your main character. The idea is just to stick with it. If you're considering re-rolling for some reason other than you feel you have maxed that class, if it's like, oh, my DPS is kind of shit, give it another few months. We've seen the kind of increase players can get via the workshop just from looking at ways of playing that character better. Perhaps you're just not playing that character correctly. That's a big thing that could be taken into this. And I really want to see you stick with it and give it another try. Instead of like, oh, it's all gone pear-shaped, I need to leave the character behind, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, re-rolling and switching servers. Again, not really necessary. Re-rolling to the same class is even better. But there's a definite gap there between people who've re-rolled once and then continue to re-roll quite a lot for the remainder of their WoW career and never really get anywhere with one character. And those who stuck with their characters and are more than happy to stay there. So I really like to see that. Really like to see that. There was a big topic I wanted to cover today, which is going to be our main topic, and we're going to discuss this again on Monday. It was an email sent to me by one of you, which is awesome. I love it when you send me like more in-depth questions than the quick one-liners that we can get out of live streaming. I really like that. And it was about guilding, guild players, and managing certain players. I'm going to read this email too, and we'll draw some conclusions after we do it. We're a small 10-man casual raid guild. We have exactly 10 people who actively raid. And when someone can't make it, we either try and pug or we call the raid. By casual, I mean we are only 6 out of 6, 2 out of 6, 0 out of 4, so you might expect we're quite bad. Absolutely not, right? Look at what you just told me. You're a casual guild, which means you raid whenever. And if someone doesn't turn up, you bring on whoever happens to be there, or you just don't raid. And you're okay with that. That's the thing. He doesn't go on to say, oh, how can we stop this happening? How can we stop this happening? He goes on to say, that's fine. It's totally fine with our guild. If you can't make it, we'll just get somebody, or we'll just call the raid. We're not that bothered. You've nearly cleared the content. You've done half the content of this raid tier. It's more than fine. That does not mean you're bad players. A lot of people like to compare themselves to, like, the best guilds in the world. Oh, we haven't cleared everything on heroic. We must be terrible. No, absolutely not. That's more than fine. Yeah, as someone just said, for a casual guild, it's pretty decent. More than fine. As long as you're not raging, I have to call the raid. As long as you're not really angry about that and you accept that as part of your raiding lifestyle, that's okay. I log in, are we raiding tonight? No, someone can't make it. Okay. If you've got that attitude about it, your results are fine. More than fine. The guild was formed back in BC. I joined mid-BC. The players in question joined in late Ulduar. So he has a problem with two players who both have different issues, okay? And he wants to know how to deal with them. I have a bit of an issue with our two ranged DPSs, a mage and a warlock. The warlock is demo spec, and we have tried convincing them to switch to affliction, supplying them with guides and various accolades. They are a whining complainer and says they don't have the gear for it. They have always done subpar DPS, even with good gear. In short, they are a bad player. Lately, their attitude towards other players has had some complaints amongst them, and it's going to be where it's become to the point where they are a bad raider and a bad player to play with, which is a bad situation. I could write a whole separate email about this one. Please do. We call that Drama Friday. Drama Friday. We have been trying for several months to recruit, but with our server that seems to be dying, we've had absolutely no bites, which forces our hand to put up with these two. The mage is the type of player who doesn't look at strat videos and prefers to learn the fight firsthand. He also doesn't really do LFR, and from what I could tell, to try to get those gear upgrades he needs. He also does poor DPS, and seems to not know much about his class. He makes stupid choices like choose Rune of Power when he's one of the kiters on Garrelon. He has since fixed this. He just started raiding full time with us this expansion, whereas before he was more of a casual alcoholic player. The officers are at our wits' end on how to deal with them while retaining some level of friendship. We eventually have to tell them they're holding us back and will be replaced. I wouldn't normally mind given our history. To prevent this from being a long, boring email, I'll cut it short right there. If you need any more information, don't hesitate to ask. Okay. Two issues here. One, you've got a warlock, okay, who's playing demonology. Demonology's okay. Demonology's fine. There's nothing wrong with demonology. In fact, in some respects, it's higher than affliction. It is. It's higher than affliction. The problem is, it's one of those things where passes can give you sort of different results. You look overall and you might see demonology is higher, and some fights you'll see affliction is higher. The problem here is not gear or anything like that. In fact, you submitted to me an armory. I'll tell you that it's like a 489 geared or 479 or something like that. It's higher than that. I don't know, 480-ish warlock, which is more than enough for affliction. More than enough for affliction. So it's not gear. The problem is terrified of playing and learning a new spec. Probably extremely comfortable with demonology, even though not pulling great numbers. You kind of look for ways to force them to play other specs, but if you force someone to play another spec they don't want to, they're going to suck at it even worse than the spec they're comfortable with. What I can tell you is demonology is actually fine. No issues with it at all. They can play demonology on pretty much every single encounter and do okay. No problems whatsoever. And in fact, in most cases, pull higher than affliction. That's just the way it is at the moment. Affliction takes a little bit of micromanagement to get used to. But that's just a spec-based thing. The problem with your player is not spec-based, gear-based, or anything to do with that. It's just a terrible, terrible fucking attitude. Ultimately, you do need to drop this person. If you've supplied them with all their information, you may have gone about it a bit arse backwards. If they were a better player, they could present you with information to tell you that demonology is better than affliction. I could do that in about 5 minutes. They are not that kind of player. So you're quite lucky that they don't really give a shit in that respect, because it wouldn't be difficult for them to show you information which points to demonology being better and telling you to shut the fuck up. But that's not the kind of situation here. What we do have here, though, is just a bad attitude. Bad attitudes are infectious. They're a disease. You need to kick them as quickly as possible. You need to remove them. People with bad attitudes bring down the rest of the raid more than you can possibly even fathom. The problem is, as a guildmaster or raid leader, if they know you have a problem with them, you don't know who they're talking to on the side, and that becomes a major issue because they are very, very fucking infectious. Bad players really annoy people because you have other players who easily go, why are we putting up with this shit? Why should I try my hardest if we're carrying this baggage? Which is quite a normal attitude to have. It's not a great attitude. It's not a great attitude for a raiding guild. But on the top of this, you also need to accept that you are a casual raiding guild that often calls raids or brings pugs along. Why should they try any harder than this? It's actually a good question. If you're going to accept certain things like being able to cancel raids, being able to bring pugs, that kind of thing, you're not going to get the best players. You have to understand your cutoff. A lot of people look for, like, we need really, really good players for our casual raiding guild who we often bring a pug to. That's not going to happen. It isn't. You need to understand that. You need to really sort of deal with that situation. If it becomes a case of this attitude doesn't change in the Warlock, it's nothing to do with gear or skill or anything like that. You're not going to get the best players in a casual raiding guild. It's not going to happen. It just isn't. You need to kick them and put up with it. Bring another pug. You need to do that. You need to give them a raiding ban and say, look, we can't bring you along. Your attitude's really bad. I wouldn't even bring up the spec and gear. If she really wanted to, then she could throw the spec in your face. But other than that, I wouldn't bother with that. Regarding the mage, this again is a real situation of a guy who is in a casual raiding guild. He doesn't do LFR. Why the hell should he? The only people who really need LFR gear early on are people who are doing proper progress raiding. You're not doing that. You're not. And it's frustrating, but that is the path you have chosen. That is the path you have chosen. You have chosen the path of a casual raiding guild. Ergo, you have brought in casual raiders. And casual raiders don't really want to do LFR. Why the fuck should they? He doesn't really care about his having Rune of Power. Doesn't really care about having his Rune of Power while he's kiting because he's probably not even doing DPS. He might do a few scorches here and there, but that's about it. You're just not going to get these players. The crux of this email that I wanted to talk about really is understanding what your guild is about and what you're going to deal with. If you deal with a casual raiding guild, if you go to a guild that is extremely casual, we'll raid when we've got the people. If we don't, then we'll call it. Or we'll do anything else. You're not going to get very dedicated raid players. It's not going to happen. These kind of issues, you kind of need to accept unless you're going to be real arsey and start saying we need the best players for our casual raiding guild. That's the problem. Problem number one in this email, not the players. The players are the kind of people I would expect to see in this kind of guild. They are. They truly are. These are the kind of players I would expect to find in that kind of guild. As much as it's frustrating and annoying, it's pretty normal. Pretty normal. You can't expect the players in this kind of guild to really... And there's nothing wrong with your guild. I'm not bad-mouthing your guild. What I'm telling you is you need to accept this kind of thing. What I will say is your problem is we have exactly 10 people. And I know you've been recruiting for a while, as you said. If you're so sick and tired of this situation, the solution is quite simple. If you can't find players on your server, you need to move. Simple as that. You need to move. You've got to do it. And other than that, shut up and put up with it. You desperately need to either find more people. Having exactly 10 people in a 10-man raiding guild is not going to work. You either need to move or you just need to work much harder to find other players. And any of these pugs that you bring along, if you're going to bring pugs to your raid, are any of them any good? If you get the odd one who's good, say, can you join us? You need to get it. You need to get it sorted. You need to say, do you want to join us? Join our roster. We have a regular spot that opens up. People don't often turn up. We'll invite you over this Warlock. Simple things like that. If you're managing to get a pug when you need it, are any of them good? Are any of them worth throwing some gear at, throwing some time at, investing your time at? And then maybe over the next few months, you'll have a good time. You'll start getting some nice results out of that. But in this kind of guild, I know it's frustrating. I've dealt with players in the past a lot of time when I've been a guild master who just wasn't... The player was just causing me more problems than it was worth bringing them. In fact, raiding with them was worse than not raiding with them. I would rather have 24 people in my raid than raid with one of these. But we were a different kind of guild. We weren't casual. And we could afford to say, fuck off. I always say this. If you have a player, it doesn't matter if he's the best player in the world. If he does amazing DPS every single raid, but he's an asshole, get fucking rid. Seriously, get rid of them. You'll save yourself a ton of headaches in the future because they only piss people off who are also good players. They piss off you good players. They really do. So that's a good email. Thanks for that. I really, really like that question. I thought that was pretty chill. What are we? It was 1730. Perfection. I'm so fucking good. Are there any questions for me? Let's do some questions because we've got Drama Friday tomorrow. Ain't no questions then. If you have any questions for me, hit me with them now. Other than that, hold your peace until the web show or until Monday. Hold your peace until then. Breach, what do you think about the new Monk passive muscle memory? I feel like it's awesome and a bit overpowered. I'm not sure what it is. It's the first I've heard of that. I know about Ring of Peace and all that kind of stuff. But I actually can't even see it on the patch notes. I can't see it on the patch notes. Web show is this weekend. Yes, the web show is going to be on Saturday. I don't know what the muscle memory thing is. We have a strict no shit policy in my guild. That never really works overall, but it doesn't. Hey, brother. A good graphics card for WoW. It's anything 660 and above. NVIDIA 660. Thoughts about Deadly Calm? Yeah, Deadly Calm was removed. Don't care. Really don't care. A lot of people were just macroing it into Heroic Strike anyway, so it doesn't matter. Workshop isn't on Monday now. The workshop should be. I'm judging by the workshops I've got now. I'm going to keep it a Wednesday for now. If that changes and I get a ton of workshops over the weekend, I'll do one on Tuesday. But I'm not doing is anything on Monday. I've seen the ARMS PTR changes. I'm not seeing any results from it yet, so I'm not going to give you an idea on that one. I'm not going to give you an idea on that. Do you think Tom Hardy will make a good Illidan? No, I don't actually. I just joined a guild as a trial. They are a heroic raiding guild. Good for you, man. I've done about 5 bosses on heroic with them. The problem is they have around 3 other warlocks that are on trial too, and all have insane gear compared to mine, and eventually end up doing more DPS. Do you think this hurts my chances of getting out of the trial zone and into the core 25-man group? Absolutely fucking not, right? It really doesn't. They know your gear is worse. You don't need to presume that nobody knows my gear is much worse. Never presume that. Your guild knows. They recruited you. They know what your gear level is. The winner is the guy who plays better. Every single fucking time. If you play better and have a better attitude, and remember, talk on fucking Ventrilo. Talk on TeamSpeak. Get people to get to know you and they will want to raid with you. Simple as that. Raiding is a lot more about the social thing than people realise. Somebody who talks and answers and responds and plays good, plays well, does awesome in raids, is going to be the better guy. They're going to throw more gear at you. It's like, oh, well, this guy's DPS is good considering his gear and he's really nice to be around. That's the attitude you want. That is the attitude you want. And then you'll beat them all. You'll beat them all. Every single time. Next question. What are the highs and lows of class stacking in 10-man raids? It's only highs. If you're at a stage where you're class stacking to kill a certain boss, then it's only because you're benefiting from that. That's it. There is no. That's why class stacking exists. There's only a high from doing it. If this boss is tremendously easier with 7 druids, that's just a benefit. The boss is just tremendously easier. There's no low to it. There is really no low to it at all. How important would you say that all the raid buffs are in a 10-man guild? Doesn't matter if it's a 10-man guild, a fucking 25-man guild, or a 60-man guild. Every single raid buff is vitally important. Vitally important. It's more important than who you bring. It really is. That's why the homogenization of the buffs exists. It is so important to have all your buffs. Otherwise, you are just weaker. Every single character in your raid is just weaker. Simple as that. Every raid buff is of vital importance. It really is. It's absolutely vitally important. How would you say to your guild, let's go 25-man? If I was the guild master, I would say we're going to move to 25-man. I'm going to start actively recruiting to make that happen. If you're the guild master, it's your choice. Remember, raid leading and guild management is not a democracy. Never has been, never will be. Somebody has to have the final say. It's not a democracy. If you want to go 25-man, you make it happen. It's on you to do it and make it work. That's your responsibility as the guild master and the raid leader or whatever role you take on. But that is your decision. And you need to make it happen. You need to make it happen. General opinion on mod raids. I'm not going to say too much on that. I mean, I only raided quite seriously during the beta. That's no lie. Everyone's aware of that. I'm going to start raiding again soon, hopefully. But Kata raiding is kind of a mishmash. Firelands was amazing. Amazing. Blackwing Descent, Alakir. I did everything on heroic. I've killed every heroic boss in Cataclysm. Dragon Soul was disappointing, as we know, and it's kind of stuck in everyone's memory, the Dragon Soul, about how disappointing it was, and it was, to say the least. Especially, I mean, Cataclysm would be looked upon in such high regard if Deathwing's fight was different. The mock fights, all I can say is I did a lot of the heroics on the beta. They've changed a little bit since, and I enjoyed them quite a lot. Gotta be honest, I enjoyed them quite a lot. So far, pretty happy. I am not streaming tomorrow. No, I'm out working tomorrow. How many you managed to level so many characters in just 1 month? Without issue. I actually expect to finish with a lot of time over. A lot of spare time over. Do you think Brewmasters are more gear dependent tank? Nope, absolutely not. I really do not. What do you think of mastery as a stat? That's a really open-ended question. What character? What class? I don't know. I was discussing that either dual crafting or reforging is probably going to be removed in the next expansion. I would expect one of those to be dropped. I don't think there's much doubt that either one of them is going to change severely or dropped. I would expect dual crafting to be the one to go. I would pretty confident that's going to happen. Pretty confident that dual crafting is going to get dropped because it's just boring. As Ghostcrawler put to himself, and it's correct, we used to be able to get an item drop and be able to wear it. We can't do that. We're nowhere near being able to do that. Well, the game has gone so many directions that when a new item drops, we need to enchant it, reforge it, and fucking gem it just to be able to actually wear it. What will it be replaced by? I don't know. But at this point, it's become a case that we have to do too much to every single fucking item in order to be able to wear it. That's not fun, and it's too expensive. And then, of course, transmog it, as Vanish points out. Dual crafting is my moneymaker. Don't panic. They'll replace it with something. It's not like, oh my god. We're talking about the next expansion, but I'm pretty sure one of those is going to disappear. I'll be changed massively. If you've got a really long question, please email me. Please email me. It's the best way to do it. Woodworking to make furniture for your player house, yeah. A couple more questions. If you're getting bored of a class, why not? Give something else a try. I've been testing on dummies as Demonology Warlock, who benefit from refreshing your corruption while in demon form, as we do more damage then. And then found out that it's not increased the damage of corruption. Well, your damage, it depends. Corruption's a dot. Corruption's a dot, and it bases entirely off the buffs and stuff that you carry at the time. And you've got to remember, in demon form, you refresh it constantly. Constantly. It's a different kettle of fish while you're in demon form. Does the initial commercial help you? Yes. Yes. A little bit. We were thinking of turning all adverts off because we were kind of toying with the idea of a subscription based towards the website and just turn all adverts off on the live stream. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. We don't live stream enough or for long enough, really, to benefit from live stream as in terms of income. What do you think of the Banner Navy Enabler? It just pisses people like me off. It just pisses people like me off. That's the problem. It just pisses me off. I want to run, big groups of battlegrounds with all you guys. I just can't do that, and that really annoys me. No more than this, like $4 or something like that. $4. Turn all ads off. Nothing. $300 a month. That's the subscription. What do you think? When the 5.2 come out, I have no idea. What do you think about the huge item level leap between tiers in mod? Well, we have talked about this on a previous other dailies. I actually talked about it in the war that is coming. The war that is incoming, and is kind of here already, people being massively far behind. Thunderforged items doesn't make that war any easier by any means. But it's okay, I'm fine with it. It's a move in the right direction is to create a gap and kind of give people the incentive to go and do the earlier content instead of just waiting for the new vendors and skipping over it. And that'd be really cool. That'd be really good. Last couple of questions. What do you think of this? To encourage raid finder groups to persevere each time a raid finder group's wiping a boss to get a buff. I'm fine with that. I am absolutely... In fact, that buff is not enough. That buff is not enough. Every time we wipe in LFR, I want a 20% damage increase. I'm fucking serious. I want a 20% damage, healing, health, everything. I want everything you could possibly give me. If you wipe in LFR, I want massive amounts of buffs just so I can bypass this encounter. I just want that. I want that. I absolutely want that every single time. LFR is such a giant waste of fucking time in my life. I want anything that makes it easier. I want 400% fucking buffs. I want to be able to one-shot the boss. If we wipe on a boss in LFR, I want to be able to go back in, run my ass back and one-shot the bastard and just carry on going. I just want it out of there. I just want it gone. Forget it. Absolutely forget it. I want it called. Yeah, make the buff called it's LFR. This shit is totally useless. Shit is totally useless. Here's a buff. Kill the fucking boss. That's what I want to do. I love that. I absolutely love that. If you've wiped an LFR several times, and you get shit for it anyway, you get crap loot. The LFR loot is terrible. It's absolutely awful items. It's terrible. It's the worst items ever. I don't care if everybody's AFK. If I can one-hit the boss, I don't care. I really don't care. I really just finish this shit. Yeah, debuff name. Just finish this shit. Get out of it. Stop fucking annoying everyone else. I would love that. I'd absolutely love that. The cheater. No. The fucking worst. I would love that. I absolutely love that. Voice actress is on Monday. I spoke to her just before the daily, actually. She's doing really well. So, voice actress is on Monday. I'm really looking forward to it as well. I wonder if she's going to put her own spin on the script that I'm sending her a script. So she's on Monday, which is really cool. It's going to be good. Is there any way to reduce latency in WoW? Buy better internet, really. There used to be an add-on that latency fix, but it's built into the game now, so you don't need it. There was some sort of latency fix, but other than that, you need to get you just need to get better internet. That's it. Is it Felicia Day? No, it's not. Emma's fine, doing really well. She's just tired, so I'm gonna go and cook for her in a moment. Yeah, Leatrix latency fix. Last question, really. Ugh. What do you think about glyphs being pretty much useless in MOP? Why is it in the game? I don't know. I don't know. It would be nice if it changed things from PvE perspective to PvP perspective more than what it does. But right now, I mean, there's so many people out there who just roll with like 2 out of 3 glyphs because there's not even a third one worth taking. There's a problem with Inscription as a whole. The whole glyph system it kind of goes hand in hand with what I was saying about items and reforging and enchanting. It all goes together with that. There's so many different things that you can modify your character with that a lot of them have become superfluous. Like, dual crafting's amazing, right? We increase our intellect, or we increase our strength, or crit, or whatever. It's like, it's not fun anymore. It was fun when it first came in. Dual crafting was a great fix to a problem that occurred, which was people couldn't get things like hit and expertise, especially as a tank. I had no hit and expertise at the end of TBC. I had nothing. I could barely hit the boss. Boss couldn't hit me either, and it was retarded. But I couldn't hit the boss. Dual crafting comes in. Oh, we can put hit gems and shit in. And that was a great saver. I think in Sunwell, the only item that could support a blue gem was the shoulders, I want to say. I remember I could only get a hit gem in my shoulders, really. And we were gemming for things like that. And that was okay. Then reforging came in. So, okay, now we can reforge hit and expertise. And we can now gem hit and expertise. But we kind of want to gem stam and dodge, really. And all this kind of shit was all mixed together. And now we've got 2 years down the line. And we're just making everything the same. Dual crafting is just buffing the stats that we're also reforging to as well. So that's kind of crappy. Live streaming February starts on Monday, not tomorrow. It starts on Monday. I just want to repeat that. Live streaming February starts on Monday. Monday. Starts on Monday, not tomorrow. Starts on Monday. I want to start fresh on the new week. I'm going to do a second big weekly video tomorrow to make sure there's one for next week as well. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to keep answering questions. I'm going to keep answering questions. Web show on Saturday. So please join us and send your bro fists. Just send me an email to preachgaming@gmail.com. Like that. It's really easy to do. Look, I just did it. It's really easy. It's that easy. Whoa! And then just send a picture to preachgaming@gmail.com and you can go on our bro fist map and I can see you forever and ever. And also send in your transmogs. If you've got cool transmogs, preachgaming.com, our forum, community contests. In there, stick your transmogs in and let Genji have a look, and then they'll all be on the web show. And Ghost will cast his keen eye on that. Ghosty is going to be joining you in exactly 1 hour on this channel. He's going to be running any of you who want to, if you're on the EU servers, to go through some transmog runs with him. If you need them last pieces to make your transmog complete. I think he's starting with ICC 25 Heroic. I'm not sure if he's getting a Shadow mode today. Maybe. And then he's going on to do some other instances, maybe Ulduar, something like that, or Firelands. So if you want to do some transmog or you're looking for some extra pieces to finish your set, tune in with Ghosty in 1 hour's time, and he's going to take you on some big runs. And there is a web show on Saturday. All right, guys. So take it easy, and it's Drama Friday tomorrow. Drama Friday tomorrow. So be good, and I'll see you tomorrow. And bring your drama hats and pipes. We want to see some pipes tomorrow. Take it easy, ballers.